Welcome to the Retirement's Next Steps podcast. I'm your host, Jill Templeton-Haislip, Global Real Estate Advisor and Senior Real Estate Specialist with Russ Lyon Sotheby's International Realty DeGeorge Partners. This podcast is a valuable resource for retirees looking to connect with industry experts who can enhance your retirement experience. With so many companies, products, and services available, it can be overwhelming to know where to start. Let us help you navigate through it all and find the resources you truly need to make the most of your retirement years. As always, you can join us in person with each of our industry experts for the full presentation every month on the last Thursday at 4 p.m. Our office is located at 16872 East Avenue of the Fountains, Suite 103 in Fountain Hills, Arizona. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get started. Today, we are privileged to have Stephanie Bivens with Bivens & Associates, and she gave us a few extra minutes today to go over a little bit of her presentation. Stephanie is a certified elder law attorney with Bivens & Associates. Everyone knows they should have an estate plan, but do you? 60% of people don't, and those that do, their plans are typically outdated. Attend this workshop to learn the legal documents and strategies to best protect yourself and your family from costly mistakes. You're going to learn valuable information, no fluff. Stephanie, we really appreciate you coming in today and really expanding a bit more on this. So this is very appealing to a lot of folks. So tell us more about elder law.
Sure. Thank you, Jill, for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity. So when it comes to estate planning and elder law, most people think of estate planning as a last will and testament. And most people think, oh, I'll get to it later. Well, we don't know when later is going to be too late. And so it's really important that people have a complete set of estate planning documents. An estate plan is well beyond just a will. It's going to be medical directives. So there's a clear chain of command as to who will get to make medical decisions for you if you are ever unable to yourself. So the family's not wondering what decisions you would want or who should be responsible. Also, with regard to handling financial matters, everyone should have a durable financial power of attorney. Interestingly enough, in the law, Jill, here in Arizona, if you become incapacitated and you don't have a healthcare power of attorney, our state law says who gets to make your medical decisions for you. Yeah, scary. It's not always who you would want or who you would pick, but there is a default law. However, with regard to financial matters, there is no default. So if you become incapacitated, so I like to say you're still with us, but you're not with it, and you're not able to handle your financial matters due to an accident, an illness for some period of time, no one gets to do that for you just because they're related to you by blood or marriage.
Wow.
So it's a big shock that we're probably going to go to court and get a conservatorship in place. And as a lawyer, I don't mind court, but it is not fun for my client families, trust me, and it's a very expensive proposition when just a simple power of attorney, if done correctly ahead of time, could have avoided all of that. So we don't want to be in court during somebody's lifetime. Often we don't want to be in court after somebody's lifetime
Right.
either, right? Most people know they want to avoid probate. So we can have a will, your assets will get from point A to point B, but with a trust, we get to avoid probate. So for a lot of people, if they own real estate, and I know that's what you do so
Yes.
well here, if you own property, you're probably going to want to have a trust to avoid probate. But even if you don't, if you have brokerage accounts, checking, savings, trusts are not just for the uber wealthy. They're really almost for everyone. But that's the point where you sit down with a qualified estate planning and elder law attorney, go through your specific situation, your goals, your objectives, and come up with the best strategies to make sure we're not going to have family disharmony or fighting. We're going to avoid any extra tax, income, or estate, avoid legal fees, and have things go as smoothly as possible. It's hard enough when somebody in the family becomes critically ill or passes away. It's really hard when we have all the legal issues to have to deal. So just a little bit of pre-planning, you're good to go.
Goes a long way.
It does. Yeah.
Something you said earlier here in Arizona, and I think that's really important for a lot of folks who are watching this. They are snowbirds. They are here part-time throughout the year. So what Stephanie can bring to you is specific to Arizona because each state is different, correct?
Correct. So this is a really good question we often get, which is I have documents from another state. Are they going to be honored here? And the quick answer is yes. The long answer is but you may still want a set of Arizona medical directors. If you're here for half of the year and you end up in an Arizona hospital, they're used to seeing our documents, not another state's documents, right? Other states use I'm using my legal air quotes here, people. Short form powers of attorney. We don't like them here. We like long form powers of attorney. So there are specific differences between states. And we can kind of decide, okay, what do we need in Arizona to add to if you really are snowbirding? But if you do move here full time, then we really do need to look at everything. We've had a lot of people move to sunny Arizona. Over the last several years. We've had a big influx, and I've seen so many estate plans from other states where we really do need to get an update and an overhaul. And if your documents are older, more than 5 years old, it's time for a refresh. And at least a review anyway, because laws changes, your assets change, family dynamics change, and there may be something in your document that if you took a look, you would prefer to have updated.
I'm glad you brought that up because when individuals are in their retiree years, they tend to see that there's more life changes happening. Maybe their kids had children or there was a divorce or unfortunately a loss of a loved one. And people think, well, I have my plan in place. But as life changes, we need to make sure that we stay abreast of those changes.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes the review is we're good to go. We don't need to update anything. And other times, it's, oh gosh, I didn't know that person was still in there. We don't even talk anymore.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
I've had a few of those lately. Yeah. So it's always a good idea every 3 to 5 years is sort of our general rule of thumb, absent somebody knowing there's a reason they want to come in. We are on the precipice of potentially some big changes to the estate tax.
Okay.
So right now, each individual can die and leave up to $13,610,000 to their heirs with no federal estate tax. That's going to increase next year in 2025. But if Congress doesn't change anything, and of course they don't consult me, so I don't know what will happen. But beginning in 2026, that limit is going to go back down to $5 million per person, indexed to inflation. So projections are somewhere around 6 to 7 million. But for higher net worth individuals, now is a really good time to be paying attention to the laws, your assets, and get in with your financial advisor and your estate planning attorney to see if you need to make any updates in anticipation of this potential change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And, I work in real estate, so obviously I'm helping people buy and sell homes. Let's say we have an individual who is looking to right size, I call it, whether that's downsize, upside, whatever makes the most sense for them. And they don't have a trust in place. Mm-hmm. When ideally should they have that trust in place before they purchase their next property? Afterwards, what's your recommendation?
Honestly, I always say sooner than later is better because we just never know if somebody's going to have a change in health circumstance. And if we're waiting and then unfortunately there's an accident or a serious illness, we may be past the point where they can sign these documents. So sooner is better. But if you have the trust and then you're purchasing the property, you can purchase it in the name of the trust. But if you don't have the trust set up yet, just purchase it in your individual name as you always would have. And then when we have the trust in place, we just do a special warranty deed conveying ownership and transferring it from you individually to the trust. It's a very simple process. It's just a deed. Usually the attorney drafts it. We do them all the time.
And I appreciate you saying it's a very simple process because I hear a lot of folks saying, I can't do it. I've already purchased the house. It's way too much work. You heard it here from Stephanie saying that it's a very
simple process for real estate. It's a little more work if you've got brokerage accounts, checking, savings, insurance, retirement accounts. When you think of your estate, it's like a big jigsaw puzzle, right? Some things may be in the trust, but your retirement accounts, your insurance is going to be distributed through beneficiary designation. So we have to make sure that those beneficiary designations make sense with the overall estate plan. If you say, I want everything to go to my son in my estate plan, but you leave everything to your cousin in life insurance, when your cousin's getting the death benefit on the life insurance policy, right? So you needed to update that with the insurance company. But that's something that people will get overwhelmed with, Jill, and they really don't need to because the attorney, at least our firm, and we're a little unusual in that because we are also elder law attorneys, we really hold our clients' hands and we I do a whole schedule of assets. It's color coded. There's check
I love
boxes.
it.
I email the financial advisor. We fill out forms for clients if we have to. So to take away that fear factor, of not understanding how to do it or not doing it correctly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you sharing all of that with us here today. If folks have questions and want to get in touch with you, what is the best way to do that?
Yeah, so you can always check us out on our website, bivenslaw.com, BIVENSLAW.com. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, a little bit of YouTube, getting there with the YouTube, but probably our website, and then they can contact us. Our phone number's there, 480-922-1010. Or they can email us to schedule a consultation.
And Stephanie does some great newsletters, some Zooms that people can get on to learn more information.
Yeah.
You're very involved throughout Fountain Hills and Scottsdale that people can pick you up at most places. So I appreciate that we can see you in a bunch of different places.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have free information, actually, Jill, on my website. About a year or so ago, I created what we call our free e-library. So you can check that out. You just put in your email address and it'll arrive right in your in-bin. You can pick among any of our resources. We have all kinds of basics in estate planning, how to avoid probate workshop, all kinds of information on our website for people.
Okay. And before we go today, tell folks a little bit about why you decided to get into elder law.
Yeah, so I was super blessed growing up here. I am a Phoenix native. I now live in Fountain Hills, however. But growing up, I was really blessed. I had both sets of my grandparents here in town. And so there were weekends where I would just get dropped off on a Friday night by my mom and picked up on a Sunday night. And no idea what my mom was doing because I was having a great time with my grandparents. Really special relationships. And so I just really appreciate older persons and always had friends that were much, much older than me, and just thought it was normal. So when I decided to go to law school, I knew I would do my pro bono services as a lawyer serving the elderly. I had no idea that elder law was actually a field. And it's a very niche practice. So we do estate planning and probate and trust administration work like any traditional estate planning firm does. But because I'm a certified elder law attorney by the National Elder Law Foundation, we're very familiar with all the issues that come with aging and help the families and our aging clients go through that process and bring in the legal solutions. So we're really tied into the healthcare community, financial, real estate community, all of those, partners supporting persons as they age.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate that. Thank you again, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Retirement's Next Steps podcast. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me at 303-204-4432 or via email at jill@degeorgepartners.com. If you would like to attend one of our Retirement's Next Steps workshops, you can find the schedule on our website at Templeton-Haislip.com. Make sure to subscribe to Retirement's Next Steps YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn. Wishing you a happy and fulfilling retirement. We look forward to connecting with you again soon.